So if they want to attract more members, now we go and statistically evaluate how each of those attributes that we just identified, right, the first step, judge the performance in the next step. How much does that attribute drive someone to become a member of that credit union? And then we get this new list. And again, without trying to read those, just look at what happened to locations. Right? Almost dead last. Second from the bottom in terms of that attribute is why I want to join this credit union. So said another way, the thing that they do really, really well, people don't care about in terms of joining, right? So had they stopped at the first thing and said, okay, we do really great on locations, let's go talk about that, they would have made a huge error because it doesn't drive the business outcome that they want to have. So then we put those two things together, and again, we'll try and read any of these, but what you get a really interesting snapshot of is look at the top half of this, right? So the red ones are the things that drive new members. And look at the performance scores in blue at the top of the chart. And then look at the stuff down here at the bottom. So these are all the things that really don't impact that business. Then look at the performance scores. So said another way, what they do really, really well is not helping them drive the outcome that they want. And the stuff that they do really well, people don't care about in terms of member acquisition. So this is really the heart and soul of what we do. This is what our organization does, I think is pretty unique, is help them not only understand what people do and why they do it and how they do it, but why they do it, why they behave the way they do. And this is what this analysis will tell you. So this is our EBA analysis. And then, so now you've got, stacks of data, and you have to make some decisions. So how do you make this simpler? So we take all these data points, right? Take all these numbers, and we just plot them in a simple scatter quadrant like this. So on the bottom, you see drivers, right, from low to high. And on the vertical axis, you see performance from low to high. So each of those things that you just saw on that earlier chart, we just plotted in here. And then what we can find out, very simply, is if you're in that, if that attribute appears in that upper right-hand corner, it's a high driver, and you do it really well. Well, boy, optimize the heck out of those. Right? Those are the ones you want to talk about. Those are the ones you want to promote. If it's in the lower right corner, it's a high driver, but a low performer, right? You're not viewed as doing it well. You got to fix these. You got to fix these really fast because they will drive the behavior that you want, but you're not doing them well. You're not seen as a good performer. If you're, the attributes that were up in the left-hand corner, right? These are high performance, but low drivers. So you do really well. You've got some great strengths there, but it doesn't matter to people. How do you make it matter? How do you transform them? How do you make that a driver? How do you push those over into that right-hand side of the quadrant? And then the ones in the bottom left, and this can sometimes be a challenge. They're low drivers and they're low performers. Forget about them. Ignore them. Don't worry about them, right? Maybe once a year take a look, make sure they didn't move somehow. But this is hard because sometimes these are things that companies do really, really well. They just don't want to give it up, right? Oh, we've been doing that for years. We do it so well. Nobody cares. Right? Stop. And you have to reallocate your budget.